In Evangelion, something unexpected happens. Characters drowning in their own sins suddenly reach beyond themselves, not to become heroes, but to simply be human. These moments are easy to miss, but they change everything. 7 characters embody the classical heavenly virtues, not as perfect saints, but as flawed humans who occasionally transcend their own damage. Let's start with Rei Ayanami, the embodiment of chastity in its truest form. Rei isn't just physically reserved, she represents emotional purity in a world drowning in desire and manipulation. While others are consumed by their wants, Rei exists almost outside of desire entirely. Pay close attention to her living space. Bare, minimal, unnatural, reflecting a character untouched by attachment or possession. What makes Rei's chastity profound is that it evolves from emptiness to choice. In the end of Evangelion, when she refuses Gendo's plan and follows Shinji's will instead, we see chastity transform, from absence to presence, from having no desires to making a pure choice for someone else's freedom. Her sacrifice isn't driven by lust for connection or fear of loss. It's an act of spiritual integrity that transcends physical existence entirely. Then there's Kaji Ryochi, a character who might seem like an odd choice for Temperance, until you look deeper, behind his flirtatious exterior and dangerous triple agent lifestyle. Kaji demonstrates balance better than any other adult. He walks impossible lines between nerve, Seele, and the Japanese government, between uncovering truth and maintaining safety. Notice how Kaji's watermelon garden visually represents his temperance, careful cultivation, patience, knowing exactly how much water and sunlight is needed. Not too much, not too little. Unlike Gendo or Seele, he doesn't want to remake the world. He just wants to understand it. And crucially, he knows when to stop, when to warn others away, when to accept the consequences of his actions. His temperance isn't perfection, it's the wisdom to acknowledge limits, even his own. Toji Suzuhara represents charity in its most authentic, grounded form. In a series filled with cosmic threats and psychological complexity, Toji's goodness is simply human. He doesn't pilot an Eva for glory or to save humanity. He does it for his sister. His charity isn't grand or philosophical, it's personal and real. Watch the scene where he punches Shinji, then later apologizes and becomes his friend. This isn't just character development, it's Hideaki Anno showing us how true charity involves integrity, forgiveness, and putting others before your pride. Even after losing everything, his limbs, his future, Toji never seeks revenge. In a world where most characters are consumed by their own pain, his selflessness stands strong. Misato Katsuragi embodies diligence in all its messy, complicated reality. Yes, she drinks too much. Yes, her apartment is chaos. But Misato never stops fighting. She never abandons her post or responsibilities, even when the burden crushes her. The visual contrast between her personal chaos and professional determination isn't accidental. It shows a woman compartmentalizing her trauma to function in a world that's falling apart. What makes Misato's diligence so powerful is that it isn't clean or pretty, it's desperate, flawed, and fueled by guilt. But unlike Shinji, who often runs away, Misato faces the apocalypse head-on, day after day, despite knowing how outmatched she is. Kaworu Nagisa represents patience that transcends human understanding. In just one episode, Kaworu creates more space for healing than any other character in the series. He doesn't push Shinji, he doesn't demand, he simply accepts and waits. The visual framing of Kaworu, often basking in light, positioned above or at a distance, shows a being who exists slightly outside of human urgency and anxiety. His patience culminates in the most devastating choice in the anime. He accepts his fate without struggle, choosing humanity's survival over his own existence. That's patience elevated to sacrifice. In a series where characters frantically try to control their futures, Kaworu's peaceful acceptance stands as a profound alternative. Hikari Oraki demonstrates that sometimes the most heroic virtue is simply being kind. In a world of apocalyptic threats, Ikari's goodness seems small, making lunches, checking on classmates, maintaining normalcy. But that's precisely what makes her kindness meaningful. Watch how she cares for Asuka, even when Asuka pushes everyone away. Notice how she maintains order in the classroom, not from pride, but from genuine concern for others' well-being. Her kindness toward Toji isn't dramatic or complex. It's straightforward, it's basically just pure care for another person. In Evangelion's world of manipulation and hidden motives, Ikari's straightforward goodness is radical. She doesn't have a never, she can't fight angels. But in a series where connection is so desperately needed and so rarely achieved, her simple acts of kindness represent a path not taken by most characters. Finally, we come to perhaps the most surprising virtue of all, Shinji Ikari's humility. Unlike his father who wants to become God, Shinji questions whether he deserves to exist at all. This isn't just depression, it's the painful beginning of understanding his place in the world. The final scenes of the end of Evangelion show Shinji's humility transform from self-hatred to acceptance when given the power to reshape reality, to make everyone with him forever. He chooses instead to let people remain separate, flawed, but free. That's the ultimate act of humility, having the ultimate power and choosing not to use it. Recognizing that despite all his pain, he doesn't have the right to decide others' existence. What makes Evangelion truly masterful isn't just showing human sins, it's revealing how virtues can exist alongside them, sometimes in the same character, sometimes in quiet moments between catastrophes.